No, but seriously, about this Paramount Plus deal we've been trying to look into for new and improved media. Now, okay, welcome back, everybody, to Kirby Star Allies. We're going to Echo's Edge, and oh my god, I see what's happening here, James.
What's up?
On the level select. So at first it didn't mean anything to me until we moved to that little bonus level called the Inner Islands or Inside Islands. But so far, the levels in this area have been spelled
Oh,
out
how could you?
Wait, what? Oh.
Oh, it was because he got
As Josh Dern's friendship with Chef Kawasaki has ended rather abruptly.
With a cold reception.
Okay, so
Now
what was it spelling?
Flaming Leo confirmed for Kirby's new best friend.
What was it spelling again?
If I was gonna say real quick, James, if it was possible for me to make, I wish I could make friends with everybody. I would love a game where I'm just like freaking, like we talked about, like Dynasty Warriors, an army of Kirby's friends, demolishing all that stand to
That's
oppose
it.
us.
I'm telling you. I'm surprised they haven't done it yet.
So, you know what? Why don't we go ahead and bring up that can of worms? Have you at any point brought up the whole notion that apparently the guy that behind the Muso/Dynasty Warriors games wants to make one based on Mario of all things?
I mean, I'm gonna come clean and say this. If you told me 10 years ago that Mario mixed with freaking no, not rabbits. I was thinking more so the gameplay, which was based on XCOM. If you told me that 10 years ago Mario would work well with XCOM, I would tell you that I don't see how that would work. But somehow Ubisoft did it.
Yeah, no, they literally made something that's even better than XCOM.
Yeah, I mean, certainly more fair.
More accessible, we'll say.
Because I watched my friend play XCOM 2, and it is abysmal how much the game is stacked against you. Like that is the kind of game where, thank you, Gooey. That's the kind of game where they like, aw, they're so sweet. Yeah, they've kept that since freaking Superstar.
Oh no, that's pretty much just been series tradition at this point.
The lovin' healin', but yeah, it's yeah, but yeah, no. So I mean, I could see Mario working with Dynasty Wars. At this point, it really is just down to like, it depends on who they get to do it. Thank you, Mike.
I think it also depends on like how deep into Muso territory that would get.
I mean, I could also try to think how it would work. What was that one? It reminds me of that. You guys ever play that one game, Pokemon Conquest?
I've heard about it. Wasn't that pretty much its own little crossover between Pokemon and some other franchise?
Ooh, rock band.
Sorry, Bonker.
The Fatal Chorus.
You were not ready for this fight. And also, give me that. I don't understand how he managed to cook this entire thing in water, because gooey, that's disgusting. Moving forward. Also, we need fire.
Well, saliva, that's technically liquid. Right.
Actually, yeah, no, that's actually a funny thing about Gooey, is that because, you know, he's kind of an unpredictable little slime ball, I think he can give off more or less every element that's possible in this game.
I want to say so. So you can get, I know you can give off fire, he can give off water. I think when he's flying, that little dark lightning bolt either is telekinetic or it's electric ability. It's one of the two. Like Psi, the Psi element comes back.
I think the only one he doesn't give you is
I love the Psi element.
Go away. No time for sleeping yet, hype.
I'm not sleepy.
Oh no, I was talking about the sleepy guys there. I decided to call. I don't know. Sorry, this joke was going somewhere. I promise. But yeah, no. So again, Mario Muso. I would try it. I would look up some footage and I'd see what it is. The biggest reason why I did not play Age of Calamity was because after playing a lot of Hyrule Warriors, I was a little winded because not that it's effectively a bad thing, but oh my gosh, Hyrule Warriors, like the first version of it was like chock full of content, like to an insane degree it had content.
I think
that's what I tend to hear.
I was supposed to say, I think another problem that I thought of, I think it's something that me and James talked about, is that, like, not for nothing, I feel like Mario as a character probably because of how, just the very nature of Mario compared to, like, say, Wario. Like, I feel like Wario as a character would probably fit a lot better in a Muso game, considering how extreme he can be in terms of offensive capabilities.
Or Donkey Kong.
Yeah, he's definitely more upfront, and especially with what we saw in that Wario World. Absolutely, he definitely would live up to that. This way.
Like, Mario's not generally known for being a violent protagonist, and
despite what the internet insists.
Again, I guess it would depend on how. Just in general, it would depend on how they do it. Like, for all I know, what if they were able to somehow make a Muso game with genuinely fun platforming elements built in? So you have to do jumping and stuff, and like
It would be a first.
Instead of jumping on like a single Goomba, you're jumping on like 100 Goombas, and that's why you gotta do a super special, super powered move or something. I don't know.
So Mario just chaining homing attacks.
Hang on, got this monkey.
Yeah, they brought that back, the ever lovable Waddle Monkey D. The monkey tease.
Which is why I it's not a feature I dislike entirely, but it is just an unnecessary form of anxiety for me to try and do well, especially when you have
this, the friend bridge.
Oh, I'm so sorry for that, Bernie Leo.
Yeah, it would have been, dude. It would have been even worse if it was still a friend circle, because I've seen for myself. It's not pleasant.
Wait, there's very visible gaps there. Shouldn't he fall through those?
Magic.
Not from the power of the stars.
But yeah, no,
that actually kind of hurt. I'm not gonna lie.
So yeah, going back, I guess going back to the old Muso topic, but bringing it a little closer to home, I do think like if there's any other Nintendo franchise that would benefit the most from that style of gameplay, it would easily be Kirby, because you could literally just not even. There is also the matter that people still want their favorite characters like Meta Knight, King Dedede, or even Bandana D, but like even beyond that, you could just have like so many Kirbys wielding their separate copy abilities and make them all, play uniquely from each other because of that. It would literally be like a much bigger extension to what Battle Royale did.
I'm throwing this out there because I don't know if I've seen it ever work in multiplayer. I don't know if they've ever tried it with multiplayer yet, but I also would be very keen to see if they would ever think of making some sort of Muso game with... having a Muso game with online co-op.
You know what? I can't say I've heard of any game in the franchise that have tried that yet.
The only thing I can think of is that, like, considering how sometimes the Muso gameplay is so extreme, like the game's frame rate can't handle it, I'm a little afraid that might be a problem with online sync.
Yeah.
It's possible. They'd have to definitely either find some way to link that up, or... So I wouldn't say it's that impossible. I've seen Ubisoft do some pretty heavy... so this was talking about. So, FRIEN, Nature's Navel. I think they called it.
Navel.
Basically, what I'm noticing here, James, is that kind of like how they did Crown back in Return to Dreamland, I'm realizing all of the levels of this place are spelling out the word friend.
What do you think all the levels in the first world were spelling?
I'm looking that up now. They can't, hey, Birdon. They can't hide from me. I'm going to look at what all these levels were called.
Okay. Just to make sure that, the whole thing still holds true.
Yeah. Alright, so let's see. Go to Dreamland. The levels in that were titled... No, I don't want to see all the music. I don't care for the music. Alright, yeah, give him the wind sword. Give him the wind sword while I look this crap up.
You can't not care about the music in a Kirby game.
Watch me. Also, I dislike these things. These are
they're
heavy sword ability. So, I completely forgot we already asked this, and if I've already asked it, then I don't care. My memory is that of a toaster. Hype. Have you played, or are you interested at all in playing Star Allies? Like, especially if we were to find somebody to get.
I own Star Allies.
Well, why don't you tell us what you thought of it, good sir?
Sorry, I don't know why I was all quiet for that. Keep going.
But it's like, I enjoyed it well enough. Like, I see where people are coming from, where it does feel like if you just play it just by itself as a solo adventure, it does kind of feel like, even for a Kirby game, does feel like a bit of a cakewalk, but I still enjoyed my time with it.
Okay. Also, I can confirm, looking ahead, this world is the only one where the stages form an alliteration, likely as a reference to Return to Dreamland.
Oh,
alright. I mean, if they had to do it anywhere, do it in the one level in the one world that pretty much is a callback to where that all started.
Yeah, which, again, you're probably not going to see all these faces until I get around to doing not guest star. You're probably not going to see it until I get around to doing the Heroes in Another Dimension live thing, but they did call back to they did call back to as many Kirby games as they could, which yes, meant they brought back freaking Magolor.
Among other characters.
Which, I mean, I guess, to be fair, that...
friends,
what was
am
that
I
one
right?
puzzle game you showed me, James? That one WiiWare title that confirmed that Magalore kind of, snapped out of it and came to his senses to be a good guy again?
It's the one attached to the Kirby 30th anniversary collection. At least I think it was
Right.
30th.
Yeah, it was not 25th. 25th. It was the
My
25th
bad.
anniversary. The Dream Collection that it was called. It was a bonus mode where you got to basically do more of those fun little challenge stuff from Return to Dreamland, and they attached the whole thing where it's all part of an amusement park that Magalore made for Kirby.
Right.
As
so,
Eggman
so
would put it, it's to forgive, to help. It's
To get
I
remorse for my
apologize.
past transgressions, and there's in
Thank
no
you.
way any sort of premeditated plot or misdeed.
exactly. That's exactly what it is. I am literally multitasking right now. That's kind of the reason why I couldn't think of it off the top of my head.
It's okay. It's okay. And
And
also,
I'm
I
sick.
appreciate the reference there, Hype. You're sick? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
just like,
I
I guess...
didn't know.
I told you this morning.
Looking again.
It's
Please
invent.
see prior. Please see prior statement about memory of toaster.
But yeah, I guess just to give people
Yeah, I
context,
see.
like
Have there
I
ever
was
been
up
have there ever
late
been a
last-
toaster Kirby?
Excuse me?
Has there ever been a toaster Kirby?
Give it time.
The most I can think of is the most I could think of was the fridge from 64, and also
Close
wow.
enough.
As I'm looking at the chat to see if I can find it, which now I see it, Matt, or see it, Hype. But speaking of Matt's saying he also thinks he's coming down with something.
Yeah, I guess flu. Considering all the weird weather we've been getting lately, I guess you could also say that flu season kind of came early again.
Well,
Flu
it's not-
season, allergies.
Yeah, I was about to.
it's-
I was about to
it's
say it's
hard.
mostly allergies, but it's like it was a bad case of allergies that kept me up pretty late last night.
Aw. Oh, and I guess if anyone's been keeping track and or looking in the upper left, yes, much like other Nintendo games and especially Tropical Freeze, but without the pesky difficulty curve of Tropical Freeze to even warrant it, you can rack up lives very quickly.
And I do believe this is. I
in
do believe
Kirby's
this
Star
was the.
Allies.
And I do believe this was the first Kirby game, or if not that, it's definitely one of the more recent Kirby games where you can actually keep your lives.
Yeah, like if you load and like if you were to like quit and save or load your game, it will keep your progress with that, which is appreciated.
Like you could literally end this
especially if you're
game
trying
with
to go
a,
for the big ones.
you could literally end this game right as you get to reach the hundreds.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because yeah, it doesn't just cap at 99.
Nope,
There's the big
I
button.
want to say you can get up to around 999, or maybe even more than that.
Maybe one of
Wouldn't
these
surprise
days.
me.
Maybe one of these days, Kirby will follow Mario's recent footsteps and forego the life system himself.
That has to be a challenge mode or a challenge run for this game where you try to reach max lives before you end the game.
That would just take so much grinding. And the same stage over. That would be a test on the patience.
I mean,
But
yeah.
you-
I mean, to be fair, people have been. That's kind of the whole point of challenge runs, to arbitrarily make the game harder for you when you feel it wasn't hard enough.
Yeah.
You're the one that said that there's an audience for people that like grinding games.
Yeah. But for me, hey Knuckle Joe, don't
Yeah.
punch, love. Anyway, it's been something I've been thinking about. It's like. It's like it needs to be like a certain like there are conditions that need to be met. I can grind if I have things to do in the background, namely watching a movie or something, which I will still agree wholeheartedly with Zero Punctuation and Yahtzee in that as like grinding is okay if it's like something that I personally want to do, if it's optional. There are times where it's required and secret, and it's more, and I'm more so now thinking like, okay, the fact that I now need to. For something required by the game, I'm literally now having to watch a movie to amuse myself while I play the game. Something has gone wrong somewhere. But everybody heal up. Anyway, where was I going with this? Yes, that grinding I feel like can work. It just depends on how they do it. Also, I was having I had one of those weird like dreams actually last night where I was thinking. It's one of those Hype now knows by now. It's one of those dreams where like I come up with a game idea that genuinely I could see working. This one I was thinking of like it wouldn't be Pokemon Snap necessarily. I guess it would be more akin to Hey You Pikachu, or maybe to kind of keep an adventurous spirit still in there, like Pac-Man Adventures 2
Oh god.
with Kirby.
Oh yeah, no, the new adventures. Like, to be fair though, I could totally see that working with Kirby though, considering that unlike Pac-Man, I mean, bless his heart for what he does. Kirby's a fucking idiot.
Kirby is a childish dum-dum who's kind of just...
That's the best way to put it. He's childish naivete given form.
Yep.
And if it had a very destructive appetite.
Right. He's doing all this. He doesn't know. Half the time, I don't think Kirby knows he's, saving the galaxy. Half the time, he's just thinking, all right, I had a sandwich here on this table. Came back. It's no longer on this table. Someone's got to pay.
Jesus Christ. Now I'm just imagining Kirby in a freaking Dawn suit.
You come to me on the day of my barbecue. So,
or if not that, I'm also thinking of, again, I think I brought this up before, that one Easter Bunny Looney Tunes short with the freaking little kid that's going all, I want an Easter egg, I want an Easter egg, I want an Easter egg, but apply that to Kirby.
Oh my god, that one. Oh my god, I forgot about that one, yeah.
Even worse considering that it's pretty much evident that kid's parents are literal gangsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was a funny enough gag, the fact that how it just rubs off on him. So grab these. But yeah, no, I could see a game, I don't know, I could see a game like that working where, like, I don't know, something that just plays up, something that can, still respect the intelligence of the person playing the game, but more or less just plays up the fact that everybody, I think, acknowledges that Kirby in some essence is designed to be adorable.
Oh, of course. Like, he's supposed to be cute incarnate.
Oh, by the way, and if you listen, it's the Great Cave Offensive.
Yeah, I think we've already brought this up before, but every single extra stage does bring in, like, tracks from the original franchise. Some of which they even reach obscure levels. Like, they bring in songs from, like, what was it? The Kirby no Kira Kira Kids or Superstar Stacker for the Super Famicom. Which is, like, that's a heck of a freaking, pullover I've ever heard one, which makes me wonder if we're ever gonna get that on the freaking Super Nintendo app.
I was about to ask that if they had it, but it doesn't look like it. I'm surprised they're digging as obscure and deep as they are for these other titles when not all of Nintendo's first-party titles are on there yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like it would be interesting to see. I honestly think it would be interesting to see Kirby Stacker there, and then you have like the flood of people complaining and throwing a fit that it's not Earthbound.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Matt's been preaching that for like the past year or so.
Oh, got it. So now we yoink, because whips can be used like a hook shot kind of thing.
Thank God
without the boyoyoing, more the Klonoa. Anywho.
Thank God the flaming whip didn't outright melt that key.
Yeah.
Oh, that would sucked. Which actually, holy crap, we can talk about that. Just no, we already brought it up in the other commentaries. So I shouldn't bring it up here. But the whip crack and with all the retro revivals, I want Namco to do something with all of its IPs.
Well, I feel like they are teasing something with Klonoa. Like, for all I know, it might be leaked to that Encore thing that we talked about here and there. But I'm like, I feel like that's probably the maximum most that they'll give us as far as Klonoa goes.
For now, anyway.
I mean, I guess I could see that similar to how other games have done it. I could see it being done like where like you said, the bar minimum will be they'll do kind of like what how Zombies Ate My Neighbors. They'll do that for the Switch and put hopefully Klonoa 2 on a Switch and make us feel like that first commentary was now officially dated because we have ways to have recorded properly. Oh, I feel bad. But no,
yeah.
It was the thought that it was the heart and the soul that we put into that matters.
I mean, at the very least, with those parts public now, I don't think we'll have. I wouldn't be as mad if that ends up being the case.
It would have been one thing if we finished it right before the announcement and it had not gone out yet.
Like,
AKA Superstar Saga.
You would literally see me as a broken man if that were the case.
Fun fact, that's why I can kind of like allude to this right now. I have the ability to record Kid Icarus Uprising for the channel now, but I'm gonna wait till after E3 because I don't want to go through all of the recording process with Citra just to learn that they actually recorded it.
Yeah, and just
same with Paper Mario.
Yeah, there's that too. Just, there's at the time of this recording, folks, things are still up in the air. Though by the time this does come out, it's all going to become clear as day. We're all going to seem like utter fools for having such weird hopes and dreams, and then suddenly suck it all up with a vacuum.
Well, that really depends. It depends on what exactly.
Louise, like, what are you doing?
We rekindle our friendship over this.
All I was gonna say is that it depends. It depends on what exactly we call out. We don't know if everything we call out is gonna be fake or not.
I know. I mean, there are times where I freaking still, like, in terms of, like, how far we've been dated in, like, the worst possible ways. I remember the freaking, like, emotional roller coaster that was the Marvel Spider-Man commentary and the journey that Disney, Marvel, and Sony took us on with whatever rights to Spider-Man there are now. Which,
yeah.
I guess we can talk about now, like, as, like,
that
one
and,
hopefully, like, final
actually, I think I
epilogue to
forgot
that
about
is...
Double
wasn't there, like, some... What's up? Oh, never mind. That like there was some arrangement made that hopefully Sony and Marvel are gonna be playing nice and at least, you know, have Spider-Man involved because they realize, hey, this makes us money.
Well, they did say recently that they changed their minds about like streaming properties and that they are going to put all the Sony Spider-Man stuff on Disney Plus. Which, now that I think about it, that is cool. Now, quite literally the only thing, and I do mean that, I checked, quite literally the only Spider-Man thing that we're missing on Disney Plus is the Spectacular Spider-Man, and I want them to change that soon.
honestly, with how much you and Matt go off on that show, you make it seem like it's the best Spider-Man thing in the history of ever.
As far as the shows, it is.
It was really good, and I think, as you described it, the other issue is that it almost in a sense, kind of pulls a Mega Man Legends kind of scenario.
Like, let me put it to you this way, James. It's kind of similar to how, you know how for the longest time, you know, just going back to a previous topic, for the longest time you were really raring to do something for Klonoa 2 because, like, out of all the Klonoa games, it was the only one that was, like, the hardest or next to impossible to emulate. I mean, kind of think of it like that.
Yeah, when you put it like that, it is essentially the same thing, but as opposed to a video game, it's a cartoon.
It's a passion thing where it's like it's almost like how to put it, like, I mean, it's not how to put it, it's not guilty pleasure, but it's something where, oh, by the way, a new pad, it's not the train, but this one is we summon a super form of the Warp Star, and Kirby gets to go all freaking like Star Rangers with the Friend Star on this puppy.
Kind of a shame it had to happen so soon, considering that track we just heard, I think you only get to hear it at that like point.
Yep, and as I'm showing off here, the Friend Star is also pretty neat in that it actually also mirrors the element of whoever is riding at the front.
Do be careful when you do that. Do be careful when you do that, though, because depending on who you're using at the time, it'll automatically override like whoever you're using at the time.
Right, and yeah, we also be careful because we need someone who has cutter. Okay, cutter time.
Say if you decide to go ahead and take, I don't know, King Dedede with you for a ride, and then you suddenly have him run into one of those fire hats. Behold, you no longer have King Dedede on hand.
Which is why, as you saw, I was trying to be. Oh, that's so cute. They wave goodbye sometimes. Which is why I have to be careful to make sure that I don't get rid of Gooey. If I can help it.
Yeah, why would you want to get rid of that dopey-eyed goofball?
Ow.
Oop. Maybe I shouldn't do that.
I was trying to find some way to get the power from it, especially because we need that. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
And hiya. And yeah, again, Gooey will unfortunately have to go away at some point, just not yet. I want to try and get a little bit farther into this area. That is, I can't tell what that's
cutter.
It's probably nothing.
I think it was a cutter.
Oh, well, I mean, I got cutter. So, I mean,
yeah, Kirby is the cutter. What's this Sir Kibble shit, anyway?
Aw, it's okay. So yeah, now in terms... I wonder if they're gonna... Aw, Gooby. I wonder if they're gonna ever do anything to put any of the... I know Donkey Kong is on YouTube officially now.
Oh yeah, the
cartoon,
Donkey Kong Country cartoon.
And I know that Cassidy showed me. Let's hope they never find out. I know that pretty much every single like subtitled episode of the Kirby anime, not Right Back at You, but back when it was in Japan, that's all on YouTube as well.
Well, it's the same show, just a different name.
I was about to say, I also get the feeling Nintendo doesn't really care about that in particular nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, just saying. Yeah, here's hoping. I wonder if there's like gonna.
I mean, if they give no shit,
actually accept.
I was gonna say if they don't give a shit about the Donkey Kong Country series being put up on there, I don't think they have as much of a grip on the Kirby anime.
Okay, I was just thinking like, I wonder if they were gonna do anything like, if there's ever gonna be some sort of streaming platform for like things like the Super Show, Captain N.
Well,
crap like that.
we used to have Netflix for your regular new Adventures of Super Mario Brothers 3 viewing.
That's on Netflix? Oh.
It used to.
M World and Super Show.
But of course, that all came to a crumbling end right around the same time that Mario died.
Oh.
Stop telling people I'm dead, for God's sake.
That was the thing. Okay, anyway. Sorry. We're gonna... sorry about this part being a little bit longer just because of some of these stages. So... Well, this looks familiar.
Well, are you going to grab it?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab it.
Alright. Although I do know that if... A fun little detail with this boss fight is that if you do actually leave it alone for, like, I want to say 30 seconds to roughly around a minute, Meta Knight literally just jumps out and just kicks the thing out and it just, you know, you start the fight normally.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no more of this. You will throw you like that fight. Oh, wait.
How long do you think is... What would you say is the longest Meta Knight has ever waited for you to pick up the sword in any game?
I want to say... I mean, I know there's certain games where you can literally just leave them hanging forever.
I mean, yeah, like that's like the original stuff kind of thing. But yeah, now he multiplies, and yes, all of these Meta Knights, they are not illusions. They all are dealing damage. You do need to try and like attack all of them at the same time.
And I do believe there more of them do spawn depending on how many players you have on screen. Like if you're playing as Kirby, like if you're just playing solo, you only have to deal with 2 of them.
Makes sense.
Right, and then it does like, which again they build up to that damage level. Which this darn dark friend heart thing is becoming really annoying.
My God, they're earthbenders.
You know,
Yeah.
I remember once upon a time when we thought of a funny little dragon that could split himself into 4. Now Meta Knight's literally copying him.
Yeah.
What a fool.
Oh, I like
It
that
would've- it
detail of
would've
him
been-
getting his sword stuck.
It would have been neat if it actually would have been neat if they brought back that dragon for the grand like return to revival, but he only really appears unfortunately as boss refights in that Kirby Warriors game.
Oh yeah, the Super Kirby Clash game.
Yeah.
Which, now that I have competent internet, I'm half tempted to see if we should probably actually do that for the channel.
Come here, Meta Knight.
Yay.
Oh, I could never
Sorry,
stay
Kirby.
mad at you, Kirby.
Whoop.
By the way, what's that blue thing?
No, it's in the past now. So yeah, I mean, as for Meta Knight's gameplay or Meta Knight's control thingy, I mean, you've seen Return to Dreamland. He's pretty much the same as he was there.
Yeah,
And-
funny little coincidence that you decided to replace Gooey with him because, honestly, Meta Knight never appeared in any of the games that involved dark matter.
No, oh my God, you're right. No, he was never in 64. He was never in 3. This is his first time dealing with dark matter.
Yeah.
But
sort,
for now,
kind,
we got invaders.
Sorta. I was about to say kind of, sorta, because you do fight a clone of dark matter during that whole Meta Nightmare thing in playing Robobot.
Oh right, that is true. So,
But it was an artificial clone. Anyway, what the heck is that thing?
it freaking buried itself into the planet, and we are gonna have to investigate.
Actually, rewatching this whole sequence, I'm suddenly reminded of Exor from Mario RPG.
Oh yeah, with the sword burying it. I can see that.
He buries himself right on Bowser's Keep, though this time we have a thing that just buries itself on the planet. You know, not unlike Haltman's whole scheme in playing the Robobot.
No, yeah, no, we were just trying to terraform and embed everything into it.
It's like,
But,
geez, this planet just can't stay unbedded.
Every freaking day. And technically, didn't something like this happen back in Dreamland 3 as well? Like with the darkness seeping from all corners of the planet?
Yeah, literally that giant dark matter octopus thingy from the intro. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fortress of Shadows, the Jam Bastion.
John Bastion, and already right off the bat, there are some gatekeepers that are going to prevent us from moving forward. And who these gatekeepers may be are actually familiar faces, surprisingly enough. But we're going to have to, as usual, fight our way to them before we can storm this gate properly to
By the
learn
way-
who the true villains are.
By the way, would you believe that we're already at the halfway point of the game?